consumer-driven world, it's easy to confuse between our wants and needs, especially with students with limited budgets. So today we'll explore how smart shopping how smart shopping habits can benefit us financially and mentally. So today we have four panelists from four different backgrounds. So they will talk about how smart shopping goes in their respective fields. So today we have Mr. Faris, representative from Cost Business, and Mr. Kadir is a representative from Banking Cost, Mr. Haikal, a representative from Technology Management, and last but not least, Mr. Faiz, representative from Business Administration Cost. So today forum we have two sessions. For the first session is about each panelist will answer specific questions given to them, which is related to their field. So for the second session is about the reaction and discussion session, where panelists will respond to each other's point for the first session. So before we officially begin the panel discussion, I'd like to remind everyone of a few important forum rules to ensure everything runs smoothly. So the first rule is that please listen attentively and allow panelists to finish speaking before responding. We welcome different opinions, but let's always stay respectful to each other. So for the second rule is that only the moderator will direct questions to the panelists. So if you have questions from audience or comment, please wait for the Q&A session or raise your hand when invited. So for the third rule is about time management. So panelists, please keep your answer concise. Make sure it's within the 1 to 2 minutes for your points. So the next rule is that please avoid side conversations so everyone can stay focused and respectful. And for the next rule, if there's a Q&A session later, please be clear and respectful when asking your questions. No personal attacks or off-topic questions will be allowed. And last but not least, please keep your phones on silent or vibrate mode to avoid interruptions. Okay. Thank you for your cooperation. With that, let's begin the forum. Alright. So let's start simple. What does smart shopping mean to you? Boris?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Smart, our moderator today. Well, for me, smart shopping is not only about making good choices for my wallet, but it's also good choices for my well-being. As I am an active business student, I think smart shopping includes our choices of food and beverages. I mean, every day, you know.
Thank you for your point. How about you, Mr. Faiz?
For me, smart shopping means that we are buying something that is essential for our daily life instead of we are buying something that unnecessary or doesn't really need in our daily life.
Great point. Thank you. How about you, Mr. Kadir?
For me, smart shopping is more like how we're spending our own money according to students' budget, and more like the spending what we can afford.
Alright, thank you. And last but not least, Mr. Haikal.
Okay, as a student, smart shopping means to me make a thoughtful choice for making some budgets. So it's about saving. It's about finding the best value, like comparing the prices and waiting for sales.
Okay, thank you for everyone. So moving on, enough of that. Alright. I have a question for you, Mr. Faris. So how can students make better choices when buying food, especially fresh or products?
Well, as an agribusiness student, I believe that better food choices come with the awareness of what we eat every day. It's not just about what we eat, but it is also about where it comes from, where was it produced, and how was it produced. Because this small information actually can affect not only our habits, but also our economy and our environment. And let's say we buy some local product, which is personally my own favorite. Local product have fresher quality, you know, better than all this outside product that come long way. As they say, some come from Europe, they might take 1 or 2 weeks before it come here, and the quality has already reduced. So, if we are talking about smarter choices, students should plan ahead of what they want to buy and how, where they are going to buy it. and not only just what's on sale and what's on the discounts. Okay? And like I said just now, we should support the local farmers and vendors as it is much more convenient for us. I think that's
So it's about logistics. Okay.
very good point.
So I have another questions. Do you think students often waste money on food they don't need? So why does this happen?
Well, I think yes, students often waste food on waste money on foods. Well, as a student, it is unavoidable you can get stressed, bored, and maybe even tired. Most of us actually live with stress eating, and what comes in our mind first is the higher the prices is the more I can release my stress.
So it's like self-reward.
Yes, self-reward.
Okay, okay.
So we buy boba tea, we buy pizza, we might even go to high taste restaurant, and that's all really shows that yes, the students actually waste money on food.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Faiz. Alright, moving on to our meeting panelists. Okay. So why do students find it hard to separate needs from wants when spending money?
It's a very good question. Since many students here, nowadays, many students quite struggle to separate their needs and their wants, especially because of the strong influence from social media. Because nowadays, currently, our influencer keep showing off their expensive items such as latest gadget, example like iPhone 6, right? And or shopping branded clothes, okay? And actually, this strong influence will influence them to buy it, but I think they don't really mean to buy it because of the insufficient amount of money, right, as a student. But as a student we quite strong influenced by yes. Okay. So the most problem here is we spend our money usually using our emotion instead of using our logic, our own logic. And yeah, lastly, and end up we spend on more what we want instead of saving more money on things.
So it's about impulsive spending. Thank you. Okay, my next question is, as a banking student, what basic budgeting tools that would you recommend to help students for our audience over here?
Since I study banking, I feel that
on to our technology analyst, Mr. Haikal. So, one question to you. How has online shopping changed the way students manage their spending?
Okay, as a student from technology, online shopping has completely changed or transformed how students manage their money. So, first off, it's incredibly convenient with 24 and 7 access to the internet and one click money. Students are more likely to use the shopping in online, buy some groceries in online. Besides that, the internet gives students powerful tools to make some like the internet gives the students powerful tools for them to make smarter choices during their shopping.
Alright. So how does the online shopping make it easier for students to spend more on their money?
Okay, one reason is the personalized ads. Like, for example, TikTok have the apps have an algorithm that can test your what we like so much. So that thing will the market will show us anything we like. Like for me, I like gaming, so the TikTok will show us the gaming console. Even though I don't need it personally, but I will buy it because I like it. And then we will come to the person.
So do you mean the ads will be personalized according to our algorithms?
Yes, the ads will always be like that.
Okay. Easy for me. Okay. So, my next question is, are there any apps or tools you personally use that help you track or limit your spending?
Okay, personally I use some apps that call MAE for my bank. That app is not only a banking app, but also has a budgeting features in it. So the budgeting features in it is like, it's not just you can track your expenses and you can view your expenses over it. This thing, when it can show you what did you do with your money in the past. Okay, so if you buy some food, or if you go to for transport, or even online groceries. So with these tools, students especially can use it for smarter shopping in the future.
Alright. Okay. So this means that this can help students to track what they spend on things.
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Okay. So, do you think more students should use these kinds of tools and apps maybe to help further their financial management in their life? Maybe.
Yes, they should. This kind of apps really, really very helpful for students, especially us, which not we don't have any income to buy things that we need
It's a
want.
limited budget.
Limited budget.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Haikal. Alright, moving on to Mr. Faiz. Okay, so do you think advertising makes it harder for people to buy what they need?
Okay, good question, Mr. Ahmad. So, as a business student, for me, if company makes such a good marketing, such a good marketing design for their advertisement, I think it does increase the desire for people to buy things that are not their wants, but their needs. They are buying things that are not their needs, but their wants. For example, like company like Apple, they do such a great job in promoting their iPhone products.
Okay, alright. I'm very curious about the iPhone thing. So, what's so good about iPhone's advertising in your opinion?
Okay, in my opinion, well, even though it doesn't really change that much over the years, for example, like the iPhone 15 to iPhone 16,
is, how can businesses be more responsible in promoting smart shopping services to customers?
Okay, so if you think back to it, the purpose of business owners starting their company is mainly to create a profit and not focusingly care about how they should buy a product or shouldn't. But if the business owner had this kind of mindset to be responsible about how people should buy, I think that they should focusing on make a clear revenue and honest advertisement. So it will help people to understand what they are buying or what they are buying.
I think that we can use this specific app for the farmers, for the producers, so that they can produce based on what the market wants and not over the limits and create waste of crops.
I see. Okay. Thank you for your opinion. So, to Mr. Farid, our main team analyst. So, the business analyst, which is Mr. Faiz, just now mentioned how advertisement influence spending. So, how do you think students can financially protect themselves from such influence?
Actually, I'm reading about the advertisement online that influences to buy something that we want, but actually not need. I think the online advertisement that usually pop-ups on our social media such as Instagram or TikTok, right, they influences by some sort of things, and even we didn't plan to buy it, but if the what we call it, the strong influence can, you know what,
Manipulate.
I can manipulate others. I can manipulate others to buy it. Okay.
Alright. So, maybe, is there any method other than this?
Oh, yeah. Thank you. So now I remember. I think there is a method that especially student right now and nowadays. Usually, you guys can make can create a simple budgeting every month. Okay. And list down all things that really needs, and if something that's not appears in our list, try to avoid.
Okay, alright. Thank you, Mr. Gaye. Alright, so to our technology panelist, Mr. Aika. So, your business, Mr. Farid is now mentioned about the urban food. Okay. So, could technology help reduce food waste or encourage more mindful grocery shopping?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Technology has a role in helping reduce the waste of the food. Okay. This will, I can recommend some apps like Papa apps or Price Capture, which are popular for online grocery shopping. These apps let you plan, compare price, and even let you know if this price is better than the other place. Like maybe the Eon shopping mall has a true limit, and the Eco shop has better price, maybe lower than true limit.
So, comparing is very important to me. Comparing prices.
Yes, compare the price.
Okay, alright.
And some offer suggested quantities for certain recipes, like which have a lot of variety, especially fresh items that can spoil quickly. So yes, the challenge is just awareness and adoption.
Alright. Okay, after that, so what's your opinion on the optimization for the app you mentioned just now?
I think the optimization of the apps is really important for students. So the apps, we can use the apps faster and more, what you say, more better than
More efficient.
more efficient. Yeah. So students can make smarter choices during shopping online or even in the physical stores.
Alright, okay. Alright. It's very good point from what Driver said just now. So, okay. So, let's now we move on to Mr. Faiz. Alright. So, just now both Mr. Driver and Mr. Faiz mentioned tools for smart shopping spending. So, as a future, maybe as a future business leader that you may be, so how can you balance making profits while also encouraging smart consumer habits?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Osman. So for me, as a business future leader, I believe that balancing profitability with promoting smart consumer habits isn't just possible, but it's essential for long-term trust and success and trust. When we educate and empower consumers to spend wisely, we build loyalty and increase repeat customer, which support to sustain company also create a relationship. And the relationship is the engine of growth for the company to move forward to gain a better profit.
Okay, thank you. Now that you heard each other's perspective, so has your idea of smart shopping changed? If yes, how so? Right? Can you repeat this? Okay. Right. Now that you guys just discussed each other's right, so maybe like your perspective on smart shopping has changed. Okay.
Okay, I get the question. Yes, I think we have such a fruitful discussion. I got new perspective of view from our smart shopping discussion, and I think some of it actually involves on how each of our panelists own points, the budgeting, the technologies, and the business administration. Yes, it's a lifestyle mindset. Combine all of this, and you can have one good consumers and one good producers.
Thank you, Mr. Paris. So how about you, Mr. Paris, as your idea expanded to you?
After hearing all the panelists saying how we should spend our technology and the way how we could budgeting our money, I think that the way of I think about smart shopping too expense and change because probably after this I will try to use more technology such as the apps that are mentioned by Mr. Aika, where it could help me to using my budget, spend in buying what I need and what I want to be more wise.
Thank you, Mr. Paris. So how about you, Mr. Paris? Oh,
Yes. So after listening to other panelists' opinions, before this, I thought it's only about saving and budgeting, but after hear all the opinions from our other panelists, it's actually about how we control ourselves to spending, how to manage our budget properly, how to using the right tool for our spending, and the most important thing is how we carefully use our money to what we need, not what we want.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Paris. And our last panelist.
Okay. After hearing everyone's ideas, now I realize it's not about just buying things. It's more about where what we buy, how much we buy, and where it comes from.
Alright, okay. Thank you for everything. So, now with that, right. Okay. So it was good to see how your ideas were across different fields. So and how each of your contribute to a new understanding with smart shopping habits. So it was hopefully our audience today has learned that smart shopping is a shared responsibility involving consumers, business, and technology, and even agribusiness in the field. Okay, so it's about making small micro decisions that lead to a bigger financial and lifestyle growth. So with that, we will now move toward the closing of our forum. So thank you to all our panelists for the meaningful discussion. It's clear that smart shopping goes beyond just saving money. So it involves awareness, responsibility, and planning. And whether it's about food budgeting, technology use, or ethical marketing, every field has a role to play. So to everyone here, let this forum be a reminder: buy what you need, not what you want. Okay, and if you want it, think twice. Or maybe that you don't, or maybe that you won't even need it at all. Okay, so thank you all for attending, and we hope today's session inspire you to make a better choices. Have a great day. Thank you.
Okay, that was 31 minutes. I have a question. Okay. Haikal and Faiz, any particular reason why you are not looking at the audience as you were delivering your points? Any particular reasons?
I was looking at them, but sometimes I confuse.
audience